I know you go after people, man, and I got my facts.
Buckle up.
Hello, all. Today we are going to watch a conversation between Charlie Kirk and a student in Arizona concerning racism and critical race theory, or CRT. Basically, CRT states that any inequity, which is an inequality of outcome between a white person and a person of any other race, is the result of systemic racism and only can be fixed through an overhaul of all of America's core systems. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get into it.
I want to first thank you and Candace Owens because you guys gave me the motivation to change my major from criminal justice to political science. I have a little bit.
Awesome.
You'll see.
Oh.
I mean this in respect, but so how the heck can you come to a state like Arizona, live here, and Tucson when we had and say there's no such thing as white privilege or racism when there's been not one but two laws that have been deemed racist by a federal lawyer in the past 11 years? And here's the law. I know you go after people, man, and I got my facts.
Buckle up.
All right, cool. I'm ready. So in 2003, Tucson Unified School District created a program called Mexican American Studies. You know what it is?
Sounds pretty self-evident.
It's critical race theory we are against.
Okay.
So in 2000, it was made to close the achievement gap for Latino students, for European American students. TUSU has 75% Latino students. In 2007, we caught up. This is right around the time where Tom Horn, the state superintendent, saw this. He called these classes racist, teaching the overthrow of the government. He lied and said they were segregating these schools, segregating the students. But here's the thing. He never went to a class. And he tried 3 different times, in 2007, 2008, 2009, and by 2010, Governor Jan Brewer signed the law that banned these classes. The only reason why he saw this, because he saw that Latinos were catching up. In 2017, a federal judge deemed that the law was racist and that his whole point of view was racist, and it was the 14th Amendment that was wrong for us. He deemed these classes that were racist the whole time. So I want to know, how can you come here and tell me there's no such thing as white privilege and no such thing as racism?
Easily. There's no such thing as white privilege or racism. So well, there's racism, but it's not institutional. I mean,
so are you saying the judge was wrong?
Of course. I mean, judges could be wrong all the time without specific knowledge of what you're talking about with that. But here's the most obvious way I could debunk what you're saying, which is you assume Jan Brewer signed it because she hates Latino people. Is that right?
It came out that she has. It's been proven.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Whoa. What evidence do you have that Jan Brewer hates Latino people?
If you go watch the documentary about Raza Studies.
What?
It's been go watch the documentary called Raza Studies. It's about Mexican American studies.
La Raza Studies?
Raza Studies.
Okay. Well, yeah, not exactly well versed in that, but
what's wrong with that?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It
okay.
Sounds interesting. But I suppose the question is, would there be another explanation for Jan Brewer doing that, or are you going to blame?
She signed another law called SB 1070.
So what about SB 1070?
What's wrong? Do you know what SB 1070 is?
Tell me what it is.
It's basically a law for an officer to pull me over and ask for my papers when I've never even been to Mexico.
Okay, well, I think people should be asked for their papers regardless of skin color.
Okay, so then we go. Here's white privilege.
Why is that?
Okay, so CRT is meant to make people aware of the injustices in America. So they'll try to upend the government and change these systems. It's not a fix in and of itself. If these major systems are still alive and well, how did these Arizona students catch up? His argument, or his results belie his argument. Really quickly, what he's talking about is the Arizona State Bill 1070. And I'm going to give you kind of a Cliff Notes version, but I went through and I read the entire thing, and it's not This isn't a watered down version. This is more or less what 1070 states. A reasonable attempt can be made to determine the immigration status of a person during any legitimate contact by an official or an agency. An illegal alien convicted of a violation of state or local law is to be immediately transferred to ICE or Customs and Border Protection. Law enforcement can arrest a person if they have a probable cause that they have committed any public offense that makes them removable from the United States. And it disallows officials or agencies from implementing policies that limit immigration enforcement. That's this dastardly bill that he's talking about. Okay, anytime a person is detained by the police, they are asked to provide their ID. No matter what color you are, every single person is asked to provide an ID. If you do not have an ID, then they are going to ask you for papers to show that you are approved to be in the country at this time. It's got nothing to do with race. That's what they do on every time they detain somebody. That's what they do. If you get pulled over, you are being temporarily detained. It's all the same thing, and they do the exact same thing regardless of race, sex, anything else. Okay. I think that sometimes we forget that the police, ICE, all these agencies, they are here to protect us, the citizens. And if a person has entered the country illegally, they're already a criminal, and we deserve protection from such people. I think these sheep, they don't realize they're enabling the liberals in government to keep oppressing them and keep them down. They complain and they place all of their grievances on the altar of the almighty white privilege, the blanket for all inequity, instead of trying to understand and realize their full potentials, which are immense.
White privilege.
Okay, here we go.
How's that white privilege?
Here we go. Who are they going to ask for their papers, me or you?
I get asked for papers all the time
No,
when I
you
get
don't.
pulled over. Yeah, I can show you my pile of
Do you
driver's
get asked
tickets.
to prove that you're a citizen of the United States?
Hold on a second. First of all, I get asked for my driver's license all the time when I get pulled over. In fact, every time I get pulled over, I get asked for my driver's
You're not
license,
gonna-
okay? So, but here's the one thing. Hold on. Do you really think that you're being pulled over just because of the color of your skin?
Dude, it's happened many times.
Hey, guess what?
You're
I get pulled over too.
You're never gonna know it because you don't look like me, man.
Wait, hold
You're
on.
never gonna have to
So-
know my struggles.
Wait, I mean, this is the problem. I'm just going to give you a piece of advice. Honestly, you complimented me and Candace Owens. You're looking at the world as a victim. Okay, you're looking at the world as if there's systemic racism and the evil white man that's trying to crush you. It's a lie. It's a lie that is designed to keep you down. It's a lie that is designed to try and disempower you. And white people get pulled over all the time to be asked for their papers. And if a non-citizen does not have their papers, they should be deported from this country if they do not have their papers. So please go ahead.
All right, before you start saying I'm playing that victim thing, I'm never going to call myself a victim, but I'm not blind to the fact that my journey is going to be different than someone that doesn't look like me.
You're right. So you know how it's going to be different? It's going to be easier for you. It's because affirmative action laws benefit people of color above white applicants to certain universities. In Texas, if you try to get Regeneron or monoclonal antibodies, the specific position of the Texas Health and Human Services is we only give Regeneron to Hispanic and black people and not to white people. At State Street Capital Advisors, if you want to be a financial manager, you know they're not allowed to hire white people without board permission, yet they can hire Hispanic people and black people as much as they want. Do you know that United Airlines wants to double the amount of Hispanic and black pilots and try to hire less white pilots? You're right. You and I have it different. And currently, the current regime and status quo is making it easier for you. You have privilege.
I know what Charlie is talking about here is a touchy subject, but it is very true. In virtually every large company in America today, it is now explicitly written in their policies that if there are two applicants who are equal in every other way, and one of them is a white, especially a man, that person should be passed on, and the other applicant should get the job. Think about that statement and place any other demographic in place of white man. If I said I owned a company and I wrote and I sent I created a new policy for my HR department that said, if you got two applicants and one of them is a Latino woman, go with the other person. Or a black man, go with the other person. You would say that's outrageous, that is racist, that is sexist, that is whatever, that is unconscionable behavior. But that's what we have written in our policies. The systemic racism that these CRT pushers rail against ended in 1964. They already won. These same people now champion the only actual systemic racism in our country that has taken the shape of affirmative action.
I love how you turn it around after I threw facts at you. You're telling to go backwards like this, but the facts is it's there. The facts is that these laws that you say that were good.
I never said they were good.
Are they
First of
good
all,
laws? You're turning it around.
I said they very well could have been repealed for other reasons than racism, but I am saying this, that you're saying that it's a more difficult journey. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying right now in America, you have every opportunity. In fact, it's even more than that. You have preference. As a person of color, it's easier for you to succeed than your white counterpart in this room right now. You are given a hand up. You are given discrimination in your favor right now.
That's 100% not true, bro. It's that BS that you be teaching right now.
Things went off the rails a little bit after this. Some woman in the back decided that instead of waiting in line and respectfully making her point, she would just shout out her diatribe and interrupt the whole conversation. Because, why speak up when you can shout down, right? But I will end with this. America is undeniably the greatest country on earth, and your possibilities are endless. Here, the only thing holding you down is yourself and your mindset. I can speak personally. I will happily give my money to a Native American-owned business, a Black-owned business, a Hispanic-owned business, an Asian-owned business. I don't care. I want to know that the goods and services that I buy are made in America. And that's the only thing that matters. For any young adults, kids going into, about to go into college, anybody watching this, the future is yours. Whether regardless of your sex or ethnicity or anything else, it is yours. Go take it. That's all I got for today, guys. I'm going to post a link to another video right up here. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.